Well, hello and welcome to Qlik Spotlight. My name's John Sands. We're at Qonnections. We're in Dallas, 2019. So lots of really interesting stuff going on, a lot of buzz around it. And I have the very great pleasure of having under the Qlik Spotlight Angelika Klidas. I will pronounce that surname wrong. I apologise straight away. Welcome, Angelika, and thank you so much for getting involved in Qlik Spotlight. For people who don't know you and what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Angelika, 56 years old. I live in a town called Horen in the Netherlands. In my daily life, I'm a manager at MagnaVersum BI and Analytics. But during evenings, I am a part-time teacher at the University of Applied Sciences in Amsterdam.
Excellent. So, what brings you to Qlik then? Why are you here? What's the
well, in my career, I have worked with data all my life, and I started actually working with Qlik, I think in 2007, with version 7 of Qlik Q.
That's when I joined Qlik, 2007. So we got the same amount of time.
The same amount of time, and at that moment, I realized that it was something completely new, a new way of looking at data, a new way of working with data.
Yeah.
And from there we grew, and I used it since then as well in my classrooms.
So we were chatting a little bit beforehand, and you were saying you've got a real passion for data and what you want to do with it and to share that. Tell us a little bit more about that.
This morning I was at the general session, and I saw this amazing film from a warehouse perspective with car parts.
Right.
And they combined Qlik Core and virtual reality, and I saw so many things. And I thought, well, my ideas are big enough, and I have loads of ideas to help healthcare, for example. But I think my country is a little bit too small for my ideas, for my big ideas. So I have to
tone it down.
Tone it down a little bit.
It can be frustrating, I suppose, when you're doing that.
Sometimes it is.
But it's better to think big, I think, maybe, and do what you're doing than to shrink down to the size of the country, maybe.
Well, that's always what I say as a teacher as well. You have to have the dot on the horizon. And make your journey. Think big. Start small.
So, what's exciting you at the moment then? Again, we're having a chat before. I know something you're going to mention on Thursday, so we won't go into that. We don't want to steal the thunder of that. But what else is exciting you out there in the data industry or BI industry?
I love the fact that finally we are addressing data literacy.
Yes.
You know, building a dashboard or building a data warehouse is sometimes not that easy, but working with the results that you build in dashboards is the most difficult step for organizations. And that's what I always have shouted for 11 years. Dashboarding is one. Working with it and change and make the company switch to another level and work with data. This is something I teach already for 11 years.
Yeah.
And finally we address it. And of course it's marketing, but it's so important that people understand what is necessary to work with data and how they can work with data.
Yeah. I mean, you hear so many projects out there that like data lakes and big data and so on, where people are basically just, because we have so much data, don't we? And
too much.
I use an analogy. At home, I have, I call it my man drawer. And in that man drawer goes all the things I don't want to chuck away, like my old keys, my old phone, whatever, screws from an IKEA cupboard, and they all go in that drawer because I think I might need it, but I don't really know why. Yeah.
I'm the same, actually.
Perhaps I should call it a person drawer rather than a man drawer. But and I think companies do that, don't they? They go into big data or go into this creating a data lake without truly being literate and understanding what that data is. Yeah. So they end up with a result that they weren't expecting or they don't understand.
Yeah, well, actually, it's nice that you say this. On the 17th and 18th of April, I was in Brussels and in Amsterdam for Qlik to present things about the Qlik academic program and Qlik continuous classroom. Yeah. And there is one slide in my presentation which I did not add in this one, what I'm going today. And it's about that people, it's like teenage sex. People say, the youngsters say, I have sex and blah, blah, blah. They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's an analogy actually also to big data. People want to do big data, analytics, want to do with data lakes, but they don't know what it is. They don't know what you can do with it.
Yeah.
And just play around and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars or euros is a waste of money, because you have to have your business questions ready.
Yeah. Yeah. And that
what are you going to do with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? And the why questions is not asked that enough.
I was at a Gartner conference about, it'd be sort of 7 years ago now. And when big data was only just starting, and someone came up to me and said, "Can Qlik do big data?" And I said, "Yes." There was a silence. And then I said, "What do you mean about big data?" He had no idea. No idea.
What's big?
Yeah. What's big, what's small, what's
250 million rows?
Yeah.
That was a daily business for me at my former employer, UWV. It's a governmental organization. 250 million rows was peanuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's big data?
Incredible. Well, I could talk about it all the time, but let's get on track. I haven't done any of my questions so far on here apart from tell me about you. So you're part of the academic program.
Yes.
So if someone's thinking about getting involved, what are the benefits of that, of joining the program?
Well, it covers all topics, actually, from data literacy to working with as a data architect with Qlik, with the products of Qlik. So I really like that. And of course, I think the combination, what we do at the University of Applied Sciences, is that we do both. They have lessons from me.
Yeah.
They have not only in processes about BI and all these kind of things, and also I explain how they can use Qlik Sense in the classroom and for their project. And I think the combination, e-learning and by mouth, is a very strong combination to use the Qlik academic program.
So have you found in the time that you've been teaching, have your pupils changed in their approach, or are they more educated before they get to you now? How are things going?
I'm a part-time teacher, so I teach actually not the youngsters.
Right.
That would be a whole different ballgame, I think.
Yeah.
But they use as well Qlik Sensor. The whole university is using the Qlik academic program if they want to. But my students are mostly from the 20s until 60s.
Okay, yeah.
So, and they have a work environment. And as soon as the class starts, I give them the opportunity to register and get approval for the Qlik academic program and work with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, would you say the academic program actually enhances? Well, it does, I suppose, because you're using Qlik Sense. In what other ways would you say it enhances your course?
Well, it's seamlessly integrated without any boundaries. If they want to, Qlik is helping me to assess all the project at the end of the semester. If I have questions, I can go there. I can call Sarah. And it works fine. And I think they have a backpack full of information about a good tool. Yeah. And that they can take with them to their companies.
Would you say that having that knowledge about a BI tool, the Qlik Sense in particular, would give them a better chance when they go out and look for a career then? Is it something that ticking that CV?
Whole new career opportunities. Yeah. And even though we call it in Dutch cherry picking.
Yes.
So when I see at the end of the semester students that done a tremendously good job, I ask them to come for work for MagnaVersum.
Fantastic.
I think I have about 6 former students of the university in my team.
Well, that puts you in a perfect place, doesn't it, to do that?
It's a perfect combination.
Well, it's a win-win. They get the job, and then you get the best.
Yes, I get the best of the best.
Yeah. Fantastic. So, is there anything in particular that you're thinking, well, this is a way that the program could be improved, or I presume you're giving this kind of feedback anyway, but is there any way that you can think of?
Birgit is one of my contacts in the Netherlands, and as I find mistakes in the films or things that are not handy, I will address them to Birgit. The best thing, what I think is working, is the combination of lessons given by a person and the e-learning programs. That needs to be more connected, because I don't think e-learnings only work.
No, I agree. I used when I was in education, we used to call it blended learning. So
blended learning is, I think, most powerful.
Because that gives you the flexibility to do that in your own time, and when you got, but I don't think you can replace face-to-face interaction within education.
Because everybody thinks in a different way. Huh? Everybody has different connections in their brains to understand working with QlikSense or data literacy or the process of business intelligence and analytics. Yeah. So the combination, I think, is a very powerful combination.
Exactly. So at Qlik, we find we're heavily involved in corporate responsibility, and we see Hope and Hope HIV. In your team, do you have that within your group?
Yes, we have actually 3 projects running. We are starting with COC, which is an organization, it's global, COC I think it's called. Yeah. It's an organization that protects the rights and things for gay. And we have Action Aid, a project, we are starting with it.
Action Aid, yes.
Yeah. And the last one I deliver on Friday, 2 of my guys to OPCW, if I'm saying it correctly. That's an organization for prohibiting chemical weapons. Those guys rock. Yeah. They do a tremendous good job.
OPCW, yeah.
OPCW, yeah. Okay. And I decided that on Friday my team is not working in the field to earn money for the company, but they do all kinds of innovative projects, but also we do the Data for Good project. Yeah. And I decided to send 2 of my boys to OPCW to help them and install their dashboards and help them to set up standards and procedures and all this kind of thing.
So they're using QlikSense as well?
They are using Qlik, yes. And I think it's important to help organizations or Data for Good companies.
Yeah, I think you can lose track of that sometimes, and I think it's very important.
We are mostly money, and forget that there are other organizations that help the world and protect the world.
It's very important, and I think we used to say change the lives of 1 million people, and that's I think what we're trying to do. I mean, that's just a number, but to get out there, like with Hope HIV, and I've been to MedAir as well. That's another one we do, and our OPCW. I shall look that up.
It's fantastic, really, and they earned the Nobel Prize of Peace in 2013. I was in front of it, and I felt so honored. You know, all the flags from all the world, and only 4 countries did not sign the convention: South Sudan, Egypt, Israel, and North Korea. All the others have signed this convention against the chemical weapons, which is. I shall
definitely look that up. Yeah. Now, while I was trawling the internet trying to find out more about you, and not just what the academic program was involved, I found out you've got an interest in furniture renovation.
Yes.
So tell me a bit about that, and what does that involve?
Well, when I was young, I wanted to be I don't know if I'm saying it correctly in English, museum restaurator.
Yeah, that's
so,
right. Restorer,
yeah. Yes. And I was handy with my hands. You know, I can do some magic things, probably. Yes. And I was always in the shed with my dad, building things. Yeah. And we decided that I wanted to go to the school for art. Meubelmakers, behangers en stoffeerders. Tell that in English. I don't know, but it's
I know exactly.
It's like, and I still build furniture. Things
from scratch?
I built from scratch. Yes, I made a porch only from wood.
I build furniture from IKEA. That's how I do
That's what I do as well.
Yeah,
and
there's
IKEA
always
is one of my
those
customers.
screws that end up in my drawer. There's about 5 or 6. I think they do it on purpose. They put 5, 6 extra ones just to mess with your head. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Go on. So,
but I love to work with my hands, and it's something else than working as a manager or a teacher.
Yeah, and that's important as well. Is to not be solely encased in your work, but to have an interest like that.
Yeah, and it's not something I do every day, but when I have the time.
So you've got a shed in the garden then that you do your stuff. 2. Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I think many men will be jealous of my tool
two
set.
sheds, yes. I've only got the one. I'm very, very jealous. Well, Angelika, it's been an absolute joy. Thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate, and Qlik are lucky to have you on board and part of that program. So thanks for spending some time with me today, and enjoy Qonnections. Where are you off to next? Where are you from?
I wanted to see the presentation of IKEA, so probably if I run, I will
get it
yes. again. Well, thank you too for the opportunity to let me talk.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Take care. See you later.
Okay.
Bye.